up, YouTube, and welcome back to our series on Hell Dorado. So in this part of this series, we're going to cover one of the most important concepts in the entire game, and that is the concept of command and command points. So before the game actually starts and after you build your company up to your specified points cost, each player is going to calculate their command. So on a stat card, you're going to look at the stat cards of each of your models in your company, and you're going to look at this CMD statistic here. So in the case of the Doppelsoldater captain, he's going to bestow 1 command point to the army, to your company, sorry. So typically, and I'm just going to kind of make up an example here, but typically a human officer, and we're going to use immortals as our example because they are a little bit different, but anyway, a typical human officer will have 4 command. So you'll have 4 command points from, say, your officer, and then you may have some independents that also bestow command. Okay. Additionally, you may have out of faction, and I'm pretending this is immortals because for immortals it's even a little more interesting in that some models bestow what is called light command, and other models bestow dark command, and that's part of their mechanic, which is really the bloodthirsty versus the enlightened mechanic. But in addition to that, your officer, and you may have a couple of independents. You may also have some mercenaries, and mercenaries bestow command points as well. Now this pool here that we're talking about is a command pool, and so there in the game there is a command pool and a total command. Right now we're working with total command. In other words, this is the command of the full command of all of the models in our company, notwithstanding any command points that are temporarily spent. So we're working with our full command points. So in this case, in the case of our immortals here, we have 6 command, 7 command, but one of these commands is from a mercenary. Now what makes this interesting is when you're hiring mercenaries, mercenary troopers, you hire up to the amount of mercenary command points you have in your command total. So in the case here, once again, we are looking at a total command of 7. Now over the course of a turn, you may spend not temporary command points to issue orders, and we'll get into orders in a later video. So that's going to affect your command pool. So in this case, let's say I spent 3 of these command points. You can even declare if you need to, like if they're light or dark, or let's say I spend the mercenary command point, and I'm going to spend 3 command points, leaving my command pool at 4. My total command is still 7 because I haven't spent any permanent command. And this is a concept that we need to be aware of. So my command pool right now is 4. My command total is still 7. Now some orders require you to spend permanent command. So if you spend permanent command, then let's say I spend 2 permanent command on a specific order, which is quite common in Hell Dorado, then not only does your command pool go down, but your total command goes down. So in the following turn, when you're replenishing your command and recalculating your command total for your command pool, you're going to be short 2 now. So I went from 7 down to 5. Now, command basically weaves its way through most of this game's mechanics. The command lends itself to a concept called dominance. Okay, so once again, I mentioned that at the start of the game, before you even roll scenario and all that stuff, before you even place terrain on the board, you're going to assemble your company, and you're going to calculate its total command. Once you've calculated your company's total command, you're going to compare that with your opponent, and whichever one of you holds more command in their total command at the start of the game is going to be known as the dominant player. And the dominant player gets to decide a lot of things during the course of the game. The dominance can be stolen from another player, and we'll explain that in a future video. But that's basically the concept, is you determine your total command. The player with the higher total command, or more significant models, and again we'll get into that, becomes the dominant player. But it is possible for you to start the game not as the dominant player and actually wrest dominance from the other player. So we're going to actually talk about command points in a couple of different parts here. So I'm going to stop here, and we will catch you on the next one.